Hey guys, my name is Lauren Rodriguez. I'm a realtor and short-term rental expert in Gainesville, Florida, and I work for Keller Williams Gainesville Realty Partners. In today's video, we're going to discuss what we could potentially be expecting in the last quarter of the real estate market. This video is for anyone who is looking to make a move in spring. I'll give you the default response from a real estate agent that it is always a good time to buy. For people who are going to try to avoid the spring influx of buyers, fall is probably the time to jump and seize this opportunity. I pull all of my information from the Florida Realtors Market Stats, and there'll be a link either to the left or the bottom of this video that'll give you a solid understanding of where I'm pulling everything from. Do your research. Every real estate agent is gonna have an opinion. This one's mine. So the first thing we're gonna discuss is the median time to contract, and the median time to contract has increased by 90% from 10 days to 19 days year over year. This is a direct correlation from the amount of showings and contracts that are ultimately being produced by the agents in my market. And the other thing that is also affecting the amount of buyers is the interest rate hike that recently happened. The next thing we're going to talk about is the new pending sales, which has ultimately had a 20% decline compared to last month. It's no secret, the biggest factors are absolutely going to be rising inflation, the lack of inventory, as well as the rising interest rates, which has been a pain in the for everyone. And as a real estate agent, I'm expanding my service areas slightly. I'm looking at deals down in Tampa and surrounding areas. And due to the lack of inventory nationwide, Florida especially, we're starting to see a lot of other productive agents come into our area representing buyers in other markets, which is great, but the competition is still rather fierce in that regard. The next thing we're going to discuss is the median sales price, which has definitely been climbing over the past 3 years. And if we were to compare July 2022 to July 2023, we have gone up by 2.8%. So 353 to 363. I work at Keller Williams, and we recently had Mega Camp where we have real estate agents from all over the country, honestly all over the world, come together and discuss what we're seeing in the market. And Gary Keller spearheads this discussion. And in Gainesville, Florida, we have a ton of people who are coming in and out. In other words, we're in a transient market. We also live in a medical town, and a medical town that is in collaboration with a medical university, meaning that those jobs are always going to be needed, tremendously understaffed, and always going to be moving in and out, which creates a fantastic opportunity for real estate. What I'm trying to get to is that we live in an insulated market, and we don't really feel the effects of the changes until about 8 months down the road. And based on the stats that we received from the Keller Williams workshop, we are anticipating that prices are going to rise. However, we aren't going to be seeing any rapid spikes. We're going to be seeing things slow down a little bit. And this influence of decreased inventory is based on price moderation. I want to take this opportunity to talk about the current dynamics of this market. If you look at the stats based on inventory alone, it is a clear indication that we are in a seller's market. But, and this is a big but, sellers are getting a little bit concerned because homes are sitting on the market a little bit longer than they were comfortable with over the past 2 years. Even though sellers do have a ton of equity in their homes right now, a lot of them don't want to be a buyer in this kind of climate. The have-tos have to move. There's always the consistent situation where sellers who need to move are going to move, buyers who need to move are going to move as well, regardless of the interest rate situation. With the growing concern coming from these sellers, that gives buyers a tremendous advantage of being able to negotiate terms and ideal prices that they are ultimately searching for. Real estate agents, buyers, and sellers, loan officers, anyone who is affiliated with the real estate market right now are having to navigate through this really unique market that we're experiencing. We are in a seller's market, but buyers right now tend to have a little bit more power than they've experienced over the past couple years in a hardcore seller's market. Sellers still have power, but not as much as they did in 2020, 21, or 22. And buyers absolutely experienced a bloodbath over those years. However, things are looking up. Since fall is a historically slow time during the real estate transaction seasons, now is the time to get in, negotiate, and see what you can get. Which leads me to negotiation opportunities for buyers. And the stat we're going to be paying attention to is the median percent of original list price received. For this, we've had about a 1.5% decrease. This metric offers opportunities for buyer negotiations. And from my personal experience from representing buyers right now, multiple offer situations are still happening, but it's not as crazy as it was in 2022. I would encourage anyone who experienced the frenzy of 2020 to 2022 to turn on those searches again and find what you're looking for. You could be avoiding the frenzy of spring, negotiating ideal sales prices, and ultimately getting what you want. You made it through those past few years, so why not turn those searches on and see what's available right now? I want to lean a little bit more into the fall potential for buyers. Like I mentioned before, fall is a historically slower season in real estate. And with the unique market dynamics we're experiencing right now, the favor is falling more towards the buyers, meaning that they're holding a lot of power and negotiation. With this opportunity, it is imperative that you march off with the right tools and resources. And your biggest one is going to be your real estate agent. Your agent should be able to advise and help you strategically write these offers in order to have the most favorable outcome. And if you don't feel like your agent's able to do that, you can always reach out to me. And I'm gonna lean into how we can navigate these changes strategically. As a fellow human being, I can say for sure, change is pain. And as human beings, we hate embracing change. But unfortunately, the real estate market doesn't wait for anyone. And as soon as you can embrace these changes and see these opportunities, paired with a resourceful real estate agent, finding and securing deals are not going to be a challenge at all. Those buyers who are searching for deals now versus waiting during spring are going to avoid the spring frenzy. I know I spoke a lot about where buyers are going to be situated in regards to this market, but sellers also need to understand that they need to be just as prepared as buyers. And the best way that they can do that is understanding how to properly price their properties. There are a ton of listings right now that are sitting on the market because they are overpriced. And if you're motivated to sell, it is in your best interest to understand where your property stands so you can sell it for the highest and best and for the shortest amount of time if that's in your timeline. The last thing I would like to plug in for those who are looking for new construction, it is a great time to get into new construction right now. Not a resale, so you know no one has lived in it, has virtually a clean history, and it's yours, brand new. Custom homes and tract homes are still a little bit cheaper than what you would be spending on a resale. And if you have any questions about getting started with new construction, I can definitely guide you in the right direction to make that happen. I know I've talked a lot about change and embracing change. I'm going to lean into it because it's imperative for anything that you do, not only in real estate and life in general. Our fundamental innate nature as humans is to survive, and the ones that don't adapt fall away. You can translate that same concept as a buyer or seller in this market. And the ones who are negligent to this kind of information or aren't even willing to take a chance and see what's out there are the ones who are ultimately not going to get what they want. So if you want to survive in this kind of market, you need to embrace change. And as a licensed agent, I can help you do that. So if you're in the market of buying or selling your property, you're going to need someone who can strategically guide you in the right direction. And what better way to do that than to meet with me? My contact information is going to be mentioned somewhere around here, and it's also going to be at the end of the video. And I would encourage you to reach out to me because I would love to sit down and discuss what your goals and motivations are with buying or selling in this kind of market. Or maybe you're not trying to make that decision right now. The best thing that you can do as a consumer is to be educated. And the more sound knowledge that you consume, the better off you're going to be with making sound decisions with your investments and ultimate choices in real estate and life in general. And I'm also going to shamelessly plug my short-term rental management company, Halo B&B, where we handle anything and everything in regards to your short-term rental needs. And as always, my name is Lauren Rodriguez, and I'll see you soon.